Let's bring in Lord Mayor of Melbourne now, Sally Capp. Sally, good to see you. We already saw you out last night. Where were you and how many glasses of champagne did you have?
I'm feeling a little bit bleary-eyed this morning, Peter, but completely joyous still. We had a fantastic night of celebrating, and you can really feel the positivity here in Melbourne. We had lockdown lift off at 11:59, and I heard the plays you had earlier of people honking horns and yelling with delight. There's going to be plenty of that today around town.
This is the pressure valve releasing now, isn't it, Sally?
It really is, and I feel like many other people that we've literally been holding our breath through this last lockdown, and we were all able to release and take another deep breath in that was full of optimism and confidence about the future. Of course, we still have a job ahead of us. We need to keep everybody focused on vaccination. We want to hit that 80% mark as quickly as possible. Still plenty of traders who won't be able to open during this period. So we're asking everyone to stay focused. But let's have some fun, Peter, because we can.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're all here for it. Now, we're talking about some non-essential businesses that can only really operate outdoors. A lot of those businesses just aren't going to bother, are they? Because it's not worth it until they are allowed more freedoms.
That's right. There are some really difficult decisions still being made by traders and their teams. Of course, they want to welcome customers and patrons back as soon as possible. A lot of hospitality businesses reopening today, but for retailers and people providing services such as hairdressers, it's a little bit more difficult. We have had our Inside Out program underway, and there are a number of retailers who are opting to come out onto the pavements today, over the weekend and into next week, including one dress shop that has outdoor change rooms so that people can try on clothes as well. So that sense of ingenuity and tenacity and fortitude continues down here as people find ways to serve their customers better.
When would you like to see all restrictions ease, Sally, and sort of become more in line with what New South Wales is experiencing now?
Yeah, well, I think we are really waiting to hear from the Premier now about what happens when we hit that 80% mark. We know from speaking with our traders, we had a big forum, more than 500 traders online last night, talking about the bounce back and how we're bringing back the buzz. And for them, having certainty, having time to prepare is absolutely vital. And of course, number one on our list, Peter, is how quickly we can get workers back to city workplaces. And we're really waiting on rules such as, of course, return to work, but what happens with masks inside offices. We'd like masks to be off inside at the 80% threshold. And we're really trying to encourage people back onto public transport.
How easy do you think that is going to be to get workers back? Because a lot of businesses in Victoria, and we are experiencing this in New South Wales at the moment, there just aren't workers to fill the jobs. Surprisingly, given that our unemployment rate is about 4.6% at the moment, which in the grand scheme of things isn't too bad, but surprisingly there's hundreds of thousands of workers that are needed, and they just can't fill that. So how long do you expect that to take?
Well, there are two issues there. The first one is about the labour shortage, and we're certainly welcoming particularly international students back as a priority and international labour. We know that hundreds of thousands of people left Australia over the last 18 months as a result of the pandemic, and we really need to welcome them all back as quickly as possible. Many hospitality businesses that will open today are really looking at their hours because of those labour shortages, and they can only open for certain times. So getting labour back is important. City workers, well, we know it'll be a gradual return as people find a new rhythm to work, both at home and in the office. But Peter, we've been doing a lot of surveying, and I can tell you that the respondents are saying they can't wait to get back to the city, the vibrancy, all of the fun things to do in and around their workday. And they're using words like bursting and itching to get back. So we're really looking forward to welcoming people back as soon as they can.
So as Mayor, Sally, what power do you have? What are you able to do to help businesses at the moment? Can you at all make it easier for restaurants to dine outside, to have more al fresco dining? Is that something that you can be working on at the moment?
Yes, so that is one of our big responsibilities. It's a program we started after lockdown 2 last year, and it's been incredibly successful. We've seen an uptick of about 10-15% of permits for more people wanting to be able to serve patrons outside, as you can imagine.
That's good.
That's the roadmap at the moment. And we've
Can
been
you cut
really
the fees
pleased
for
with
that?
the number of retailers. There are no fees, Peter,
Right.
and we've also gifted all of the outdoor infrastructure to our hospitality businesses to make sure they feel incredibly well supported to be able to welcome their customers back.
Great. And just finally, would you be encouraging, I know you've had Dine and Discover type vouchers, travel vouchers issued by the Victorian government. Would you like to see updated vouchers?
Yes, well, look, we ran a Melbourne Money program during Bounce Back 4. It was a resounding success, more than $40 million into the local economy. 262,000 people made claims. It was us shouting 20% of diners' bills. It is a program in conjunction with the Victorian government, and we'll definitely be looking at those sorts of programs as the city reopens again.
Great stuff. Sally Capp, Melbourne Mayor, appreciate your time as always, and enjoy the day.
Great to see you.